What's going on, guys? 8-Bit Glitch 79 here, and today is a very special day. Stay tuned. So today in the mail I got my TurboGrafx-16 Mini. Now I posted this on Instagram and immediately people were asking, how did you get a hold of that? It's been pushed back. Well, because of the COVID-19, US is not receiving this when we should have. But in Japan, they did release all three, the TurboGrafx-16, the Ultra Core, and the PC Engine. So I went out to Amazon Japan, ordered mine on Thursday or Friday, can't remember which day, but it did come today on Tuesday, so not too bad, I would say, from Japan. So let's get this opened up and let's take a look. Alright guys, so here we are. Here's the TurboGrafx-16 Entertainment Super System. So here's the front of the box. Here's the side. It's got the TurboGrafx-16 Mini logo on there. Top, it's got the next generation video game. And the TurboGrafx logo there. First, see the back, the bottom. Here, and that's it. So here's the back. Everybody wants to see the list of the games. You've got the TurboGrafx-16 games on the top here, and then you have some PC Engine games that are included down here. Now I know there's some bonus games too I've been seeing about on the internet, and we'll be checking a look at that. But we got the Konami logo down here, HDMI, it's mature rating, blood and gore, and partial nudity. Whoa. Violence. Awesome. All the good stuff. Alright, enough jibber jabber. Let's get this opened. So here they have the tab. I'm going to try to open this as neat and cleanly as possible. There we go. Out. There, I'll put the box here in the back. Alright, right on the top, we've got our instruction manual. Very nice. You know, the thing we don't need, because we're men, and we don't need instruction manuals. In the back here, we've got the controller. Alright. See here we are. We've got the turbo sliders, the select, the run, the 2-in-1 button, and D-pad. This feels really good. Now I have an original one here we can compare it to. So the bottom one is the original, top is the new. Looks very same. Feels, I mean, obviously this feels a lot newer and a little more slippy and glossy because it's brand new, and this is, of course, several years old here. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much the same size and everything. So that's great. All right, so we'll put that aside. Of course, it's USB end, of course. And what we got here is the USB cable for power. They don't include a power adapter, I know that already, but any like the Nintendo ones would work. Cell phone doesn't take much power. Alright, so what we've all came to see, oh well, real quick, got HDMI cable. That was nice of them. That's like the 50th one I got now. We're gonna move the box here out of the way and unveil the piece de resistance, if you will. And there she is. Very nice. Whoops, instruction manual fell. That there. So here we got the on button, and it's got the cue card lock that comes out. It's a nice little touch. 2 USBs instead of just one, which is great. Only have one controller though. And we got the back, TurboGrafx. So just like the original, let's take this off. That. And here we got, okay, here's the HDMI, and you got the power here, and you can feed the cord through out the back here, or it looks like out the side here, kind of like the original. And in fact, with that, let's compare it, shall we? Now, you'll have to excuse my original. I kept the price tag on it since I bought it back in 1998-99. Well, I got it for $29.99 at Fantasy Realms. Wish that store still existed. But here we go. So, I mean, as far as mini consoles go, this is pretty big. I mean, compared to the ones we've gotten released lately. Set that right on top there. Oh, camera can't see. Put it down maybe a little bit. You know what? I'll bring it up. How about that? So there you go. That's a good size comparison there. In fact, let's compare it to a NES. So here we got the NES Mini for comparison. So she's a bit beefier of a mini console, mini. And I know the PC Engine one was pretty close to the original size, since the PC Engine was already a small console. So that's it. That's the unboxing. I hope I showed you everything you wanted to see about it. We'll flip it around here a little bit again. And I think it's time we hook this bad boy up and see how it goes. Alright. So when you first boot the console up, you have to choose your language. Of course, I went with the Queen's language, English. And we're going to cycle through the titles here. You can read them off. I'm not going to butcher them, or especially when we get to the PC Engine side. But let's just listen to that music, because I think it's fantastic. I will say, I think this front end is very nice. It looks like they took a page out of the NES, Super NES consoles, which was smart. And here we'll be flipping over the PC Engine side. Now when you first start the console up, it defaults to the core graphics, but you can, which I will show, change it to PC Engine instead. I'll also be showing you how you can get to some bonus games on some of these titles. So there's actually more games than what are listed on the box. Here we'll go into the settings, see what we have available. Of course, the user manual, which is of course just online. The language, again, you can change it. Display settings, I kept it at 4:3, but they have the Express TurboGrafx overlay handheld, which is pretty funny and interesting. Wallpaper, I changed this to nothing because I don't like having the borders on the side. Here's where you change the core graphics to the PC Engine front end. And of course your factory resets and credits. Here we are, PC Engine. I think this is a nicer contrast from going from the TurboGrafx-16 to the PC Engine side, the black to the white. I think it's a little more pleasing. So we're going to get into some gameplay now. It's funny, I started here on Alien Crush, trying to figure out what to play, and I end up with Alien Crush. But I cycle through the games here one more time. Again, let's listen to that sweet, sweet TurboGrafx menu music. I love that. The hue card being inserted into the system is a very nice touch. Would have been funny if on the NES they had a sound of like blowing into the cart before a game started. That would have been a little more fitting. So this looks very sharp, very clear. I like it a lot. The colors are vibrant. While playing this, I didn't feel much of a lag. I mean, right now it's just a pinball game, but when I hit the buttons for the flippers, it seemed like they were going as soon as I hit them. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of lag compared to, original hardware, but as far as emulation goes in mini consoles, this is very responsive. As I was playing titles, I didn't feel like I was at a complete disadvantage because of lag or the controls. Now, to exit games, you would just press the select and the run button at the same time. Here's where you can do 4 different save states per title, which I'll demonstrate that in the next game. So the next title I pick is, of course, Splatterhouse. This is a fantastic game. Again, that hue card insertion is great. This is one title I'd love to get the physical copy of. Again, as you know and saw, I have a TurboGrafx-16, but I only own 2 titles. Keith's Courage, of course, and Bloody Wolf. TurboGrafx-16 was something that I could never really find titles for in my area back in the day. And it just never really drove me to really hunt them out. So having this system is pretty fantastic because it kind of gives me a little bit of a more authentic feel to playing TurboGrafx than, say, using a Pi or something. It'll be really interesting once the hacking community gets a hold of this. So like I said, on this title, I'll demonstrate a save state. I'm going to fast forward the footage to where I got to level 2. And here you'll see I pick the first slot to save it in. And I exit the game. And then to load the save state, you have to start the game again and go back into the menu and load it. It's a little cumbersome in comparison to like the Super NES or the NES, but I don't think it's that bad. It was very intuitive, I thought. And there we are. Okay, we're going to flip over to the PC Engine side and play a few titles from there. Right there, it started us off with the Ghouls and Ghosts. Or Ghosts and Goblins. I don't know. I can never remember which one is which. Tomato, tomato. It's still the same kind of game. Okay, so here I'm just looking for the next title to play. I think I'm looking for a CD-ROM game because I want to show the graphic of the CD starting up. You put the system card in, and then you have that CD start up. That's fantastic. It's the little touches that matter, I think.
時空新世紀4622年人類とマザーブレイン軍との戦いは小型戦闘機ネオシーザーの活躍により
This was an interesting kind of cute 'em up. I never heard of this. I got so wrapped up into this game when capturing footage that I was playing this for a good amount of time. I had to cut down the footage. But again, the controls felt very responsive. I didn't feel like I was at any kind of disadvantage with lag or anything. Alright, so here's Salamander on the PC Engine side. Now, if you just start Salamander normal, this is our first bonus additions here. So this is Salamander normal without any tricks. So you can get to see what this looks like. Of course, us in the States know this as Life Force. So here, now, if you press select twice, you hear that little chime, then you start the game. It's gonna load a different game called Force Gear. Konami! So this seems to be a side-scrolling shooter in like maybe a mech suit of some kind that transforms into a jet. I don't know. First time I've ever seen the game. Pretty interesting. Alright, so now if we exit and if we press select 3 times on Salamander and then hit start, you'll get Twin B. Okay, so now if you just hold select and then hit run while holding it, it will load a near arcade perfect version of Salamander. You can hear it has that electronic voiceover and different music and sounds. So right there you have an alternate version of Salamander to play and 2 other games, Twin B and Force Gear. Now on Gradius, if you hold select and hit the run button, you load the near arcade version of Gradius or Gradius. Check out Don Gold's channel. He just did a linguistic video on that. So this here, I went into the special arcade version first instead of the normal. I'll show you the normal right after this. Okay, so just starting at normal, you get the console version. You can see the title is different, color, the music and sound's different. It plays completely different too. I could definitely feel a difference in the controls between the near arcade version and this console version. Okay, so here we have Fantasy Zone. I'm starting this up normal. This is another title with a bonus feature. So this is your normal console version of Fantasy Zone. Now, if you hold select, while holding select and hit run, you'll get the near arcade version of Fantasy Zone. Now here's the Ninja Gaiden PC Engine game. This is actually known on the real card itself too. If you hold the 1 and 2 button down and the select, you can change the language from English, Japanese, English, and Chinese. So if you want to play it in English, you can change it. There it'll show Japanese, but in the cutscenes it will be in English. I'll show that in a second. I'll fast forward to the cutscene in a minute. I just thought I would leave this in here, the fact that I couldn't hit this lantern for the life of me. This is a very interesting version of this game. As you can see, I got my butt whipped a little bit by that enemy. He's not as easy as he is in the NES. And here we are with the English cutscenes. Okay, so we got one more here with Soldier Blade on the TurboGrafx side. If you just run the game normal, you get the normal Soldier Blade console game. And now, if you hold select and hit run, you'll get the competition version of the game used in competitions. It's basically a time. You can change it. It defaults to 2 minutes. But it basically times you for 2 minutes to try to get as many points as you can get. Okay guys, so as I give my final thoughts here, we're going to have some Castlevania Rondo of Blood playing in the background. I thought this was a very great mini console. Out of all the consoles that have been released so far, I find that personally this is my favorite. It may have something to do with the fact that I haven't been able to play a lot of these titles, so it's all pretty new and fresh to me. I thought the menu system was very user-friendly, easy to navigate. It was very snappy and responsive. The controls in the games, even though I'm not too familiar with them, I didn't think there was much lag at all. I don't have much experience, so I can't speak on that too well, but I didn't feel like I was at any kind of disadvantage while playing the games. I think the visuals are great, sharp, clear. I didn't play around with filters or anything. I don't play like that, but there are different scan lines and CRT filters you could do. All in all, I highly recommend this console. I think it's something that is a must-buy for people who are into retro gaming and who have a love for TurboGrafx. I think even if you have a TurboGrafx in a lot of these titles, this might be something really cool in your collection to have. So with that, guys, this has been 8-Bit Glitch 79, and I'm glitching out.